What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy. Hello, 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 all of you beautiful, smiling, amazing people. Since this group has been a little smaller, I'd love to make it personal and tactical for you. So let's just dive in today. Who's got something that I can help with? From Laura, how to start creating content online to build a community. You've got this, right? I mean, if you're here, you've got this. This is what you need to start looking at, the last section, the thought leadership section. That's your starting point, right? So I want you to make content around your who, your why, your how. That's why I wrote it here, because I want you to have the tactical steps for what to actually do next. So it's great. You find your who, your why, your how. Like, okay, I'm purpose-driven, I'm mission-driven. I know what I want to do now, but what content do I make? Like, what's my next actual step, right? So looking at the thought leadership content template to try to master it, it takes a while to get. Even if you've done videos before, it takes a while to get. So it's worth practicing. But taking people inside your story, because ultimately we're trying to help the people who currently are who we used to be, right? Your mission is to help people who are like you. I was just doing an interview and the guy said, I love momentum. I love momentum. I'm addicted to momentum. That's what I really love doing. It's like, okay, you love momentum, but you know, what you actually really love is not you just getting momentum. You'll love helping other people get momentum. You want to help other people get momentum. And then he's like silence as he's kind of absorbing it, right? But that's ultimately, like, we want to serve. So whatever you want, I want to spread belief to the world. That's what I really want. Right? I want to believe more in myself, and I want to spread belief to the world. There was another guy who came on and then said, well, what if you love playing violin? So go recognize that you don't actually love playing violin. You don't love the instrument. You love the feeling that it gives you. Like, you picked up the violin. Why? Because it made you heal. It made you get over some trauma. It made you a better person. Like, somehow playing the violin helped you as a human. And so if you're going to help other people, maybe it's teaching them violin. Maybe it's playing and performing violin. Maybe it's being a violin coach. But it's not the violin that matters. The violin is just the instrument. And it's actually an instrument. But the violin is just the tool. It's the emotion behind the tool. You want people to feel more X. And violin is the way to actually make it happen, right? I want people to feel more belief. And I do it by sharing the videos, because that's what helped for me, learning from successful people, all those, like Bill Gates and his story. That's what really saved me when I was getting started. So now I try to give that back and also do things like this and try to be here, because this is when my favorite thing to do when I'm traveling is to meet up with local entrepreneurs and just have a coffee shop jam session. So every time I'm traveling, and I haven't done it for a while now because of COVID, but normally anytime I'm traveling, I try to book an extra day if I can, to then have the next morning before I fly out to have a coffee session, and I'll email anybody on my list. And maybe somebody paid like a couple $1,000 to be in the main event that I was speaking at, but then anybody can come to a coffee shop. You know, if you're homeless, we've had homeless people show up. You don't know they're homeless, but they're homeless. They can show up and not even buy anything and sit and still enjoy. That's still my favorite thing to do, because I just like seeing the faces, and I like seeing people win, right? I want to spread belief to people. And so, you know, same thing for you guys, whatever your who is, you want to spread that to the world. You want other people to feel it too. Zane wants more confidence for himself, and he wants more to have other people feel confident. And if a conversation with Zane leads you to having more confidence in yourself, that's going to make Zane come alive. He's like, yes, this is why I do this. Joy's asking, how do you choose to remove videos as you get better at producing higher quality videos? You leave the old ones. Should we? Yeah. I love leaving the old ones. I hate that people delete videos. I would never. The only reason to delete a video is if it doesn't represent your beliefs anymore. Like, you made it from a really negative space and it's not who you actually are, not because of poor production quality. Because if you think about what is your message? What's your message that you want to share to the world. So, mine is believe. Hopefully you've gone through the exercise and you found yours. But is your message going to be, don't do anything until it's perfect? Like never release anything unless is that going to be the message that you want people to feel? Is that the message you would tell your kids or the people around you? No. So you don't live that, right? Like you're hiding all of the imperfect things. So then people only see the perfect. You're basically saying, okay, I only make perfect stuff. Where I don't like looking back on my first videos. Like, oh my gosh. I mean, I missed the hair, but besides that, it's so bad, nervous and memorizing and all that stuff. And it's cringe worthy looking back on it, at least for me. But I like that they're still there, that you can see where I came from. Because I think that actually I could say I'm introverted and shy and I was afraid to be in front of the camera and I struggled. I can say that, but you can go back and watch it. Like, don't believe me? Go back. They're all there. Go back and watch my first videos. You see how bad they were. See how the camera was shaky. See how I didn't know what I was saying. Like, you can go back and see it. And most people don't, but some people do. And I think that journey becomes the inspiration. So as long as you're still proud of the intent of that video and that you did the best you could with what you had at the time, then I would keep it up. If you find that the intent was now wrong or something you're not proud of, I would still probably leave it up anyway. But I've always made intentional videos. I think it's just, if it was a reactionary video, like somebody said something on the news and you got triggered and then you made some video and now you're not proud of that video, like because the intent came from a negative place instead of a positive one, maybe in that scenario. But otherwise, if the intent was positive, I would keep it up. And be proud that you made that you did that. Like as much as the content of my old videos is a little embarrassing to watch, I'm still proud that I did it. I don't even know how I did it because I'm shy and introverted and I couldn't do it with my sister in the room or just, how did I do it? I don't know. I just did it. But that's just a reminder of the growth that kind of we've come through. So as long as you're still proud of the intent, I would do it. What else? Working on being perfect might lead to never bringing a service to product to the public. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it, 100%. In the last interview I was doing, somebody was asking what's the most common bit of advice that you see from successful people, and number one is always love what you do. Like you have to love what you do. People just think they're going to win doing work that you hate. You're going to give up. So you have to do the work that you love. You enjoy the process. Why I do this? Like, why am I here? Because I love you guys, and not even like you individuals. Although I know some of you and love you as humans, like individuals too. But just this idea, this being here. When Andrew said most authors don't do it, because they don't actually like it. It's just it's a launch strategy, right? And then I like it. It's fun, right? So and it's not like right or wrong. It's just when you're doing the thing that you love, you're going to have a better chance of winning. But the other thing is starting. You got to start, you got to make, you got to create. People are asking, what platform should I be on? And what camera gear should I use? And in all the time you spent thinking about those questions, you could have already made 10 videos. It's like, just get the videos and you figure it out as you go. Really. I mean, there is no perfect start. There is no perfect platform to be on. You have to create, you have to make, you have to go. Somebody asked me this on Clubhouse. It's like, you've been thinking about starting the Clubhouse room. Great. You thought about it, so now you have to do it. But I don't know what day, and I don't know who to invite, and I don't know, none of that. Make your first, just go, open a room. And if nobody shows up, then you're talking to yourself for 10 minutes, and then you close it. Like your first video needs to be that. Your first video needs to be, hey, it's Evan. I decided to make a video today because I want people to believe in themselves more. And I don't know, I've never done a video before, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But I got a message, and yeah. So first video done, believe, right? Post next, right? And the next one becomes a little bit better. I think we're just overthinking way too much. That sounds like my first video, says Belinda. Yeah, I love it, Belinda. That's what I'm talking about. That should be your first video. Like if your first video doesn't suck, then you suck because you waited too long. Then you should have done it 3 years ago, right? Like your first video is supposed to suck. That's the point. I know we're at time, but one more question. What we got? Trenton is asking, how do you start doing less, like doing the work / task that actually matters? I really focus in on my calendar. So your calendar is your daily actions, right? You can have goals and dreams and ambitions, great, the things you say you want to do, but it's really about what are you taking action on? So your calendar really, really matters. Next, I pay attention to energy zones. So today's a Thursday making this. Thursday, I'm doing all day. It's my extrovert hat on. So I start with movement makers because that always gets me feeling great and energy and love and vibes. And then I did like 3 shows before this in between. And after this, I'm going until 9 o'clock at night, right? So it's like whoosh, straight. But I'm always in the energy zone of just spreading the message. Today is public facing day, spread the message. And then every other day we'll do, like yesterday was totally off. Yesterday, I wake up like, it's my project day. What do I want to do today? Totally open. Because Tuesday was a YouTube day, banging out crazy videos. So on Tuesday, I'm not thinking about Readers Club, right? And today I'm not thinking about YouTube videos. So already just not having the distraction in my headspace really helps. And you may not be able to plan your whole days, but planning whatever time you can control, having a plan for that really, really, really matters to stay in the energy zone. So if I'm making 1 video, I might as well make 8 because I'm already in the same zone to be able to make the 8. So that's kind of macro when you look at your calendar and you see like, hey, do my actions map to my ambitions? Then on the inside of that is how strategic do you want to be on each day? So on Thursdays, do I do readers group? Do I do movement makers? Do I do this interview? Who do I say yes to? Who do I say no to? What helps? For me, I'm probably not strategic enough. I go off a vibe. Like, I like this person. I want to do an interview with them. And I don't check how many followers they have and how many episodes they've done. And I could be more strategic with that probably just in terms of getting the results, but I just like people. I just like picking people off a vibe. Like, I like how they messaged me. I like the words they used, like Lisa Nichols saying, I received that, it's just like, they say something that sticks with you. It's like, man, I like this person. We can make some good content together. So I'm going to say yes to them, even though I have no idea who their previous guests have been or numbers or anything else. But that's me. That may not be the right thing for you, but that's what works super well for me. But definitely ambitions, and then having it in your calendar, and then constantly evaluating your calendar to see if it's helping you get to where you need to go.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.